I'm going to go ahead and move the color palette by left clicking and then middle clicking on it and moving it, and then left clicking again on it. And I'm going to bring up the other images toolbar, and we're going to create the stress principal tensor symbol view. And here, this is the estimated local error view, and this is the deformed mesh view. And you can go ahead and look at those. I'm going to go ahead and delete those for now, and I'm just going to hold down the shift key and right click and delete those. And now I'm going to go ahead and go into the part design workbench by double clicking on the beam, and that brings up the part design workbench. And just in case you don't have the reference elements toolbar, you go to view toolbars and click on reference elements, and this brings up your reference elements toolbar. And I'm going to create some points on the top and bottom surface. The values for the X is going to be 24 inches, Y is going to be 0 inches, and Z is going to be a negative 3.625 inches. This puts a point on the bottom surface as shown. And then I'm going to create another point with a value of X being 1 inch, Y equals a negative 1 inch, and Z equals 3.625 inches. And that puts a point on the top surface as shown. And I'm doing this because now I'm going to go back into the generative structural analysis workbench, and I created those points so that we can create some forces other than the centroid. Now I'm going to create a smooth virtual part, and I'm going to rename it, this one, to smooth virtual part.1, and I'm going to click the top surface, and then it's looking for a part handler, and I want the part handler to be the point, so I click in that field and it's highlighted in blue, and then I click the point, and now it says 1 point, and that becomes a part handler. And I'm going to click OK, put the beam in the view, reframe it. Now I'm going to create another smooth virtual part. I'm going to rename this to smooth virtual part.2. And you need to rotate it. And I'm going to click the bottom surface, and then for the part handler I'm going to click the point on the bottom surface. And I renamed this, but so I need to rename it again. It didn't take. Now I got smooth virtual part 1 and smooth virtual part 2. And I renamed them because I want it to match the book. So I'm going to change these names. Now that I have them renamed, I'm going to delete this restraint, and I'm going to create another smooth virtual part on the front surface, and I'm just going to have it to be the centroid, so we don't need to select a part handler. I'm going to rename this smooth virtual part mesh to 3, and this smooth virtual part.5 to smooth virtual part.3. Now I'm going to create a pivot, and I'm going to select the front surface, but actually I'm going to actually select the smooth virtual part.3, and that's and I want the X to be 0, Y to be 1, and Z to be 0. Select OK. And notice we have the symbol there in red, and that's a pivot. I'm going to create another pivot on the bottom, and it's asking for support, and I'm going to select smooth virtual part.2, the smooth virtual part on the bottom surface there. Notice we have the symbol, and this again is going to be 0, 1, and 0 for the values in the X, Y, and Z positions. I'm going to double click on the nodes and elements and change the mesh size to 4.5 inches and the sag to 0.72 inches, just because I'm not interested in the accuracy right now. And I'm just going to recompute this, and it's computed, and now I'm going to view the stress von Mises, and notice that as I animate this, the beam reacts to the forces in the manner shown.